Welcome to Living in Tucson, your Tucson real estate connection, and hot off the press, the numbers are out for the Tucson Housing Market Report for January 2023. Greetings from Tucson, Arizona. My name is Tyler Ford with eXp Realty, and each and every month I dive on into the Tucson Housing Market Report where I go over the numbers. So if you're a subscriber or if you watch these videos, I just want to say up front, thank you for watching. So I'm going to go over the numbers, and I'm going to do something a little bit different for those that watch each and every month. When I talk about inventory levels towards the end of the video, to me, Economics 101, supply and demand, which is a big determiner in terms of whether home values are going up, down, or sideways. I'm going to go over some national numbers to give you a better perspective in terms of what inventory levels are doing here in Tucson and across the country. So stay tuned and let's dive on into it. The first thing I want to go over is interest rates, which has a huge impact on the real estate market, and it's a big reason why real estate is actually slowed down in terms of unit sales, which I'm going to cover. But we are off the highs. We had a high of about 7% on the 30-year fixed, and over the last year or so, the feds have been aggressively raising rates, but we have seen a pullback of about 1% on a 30-year fixed. So rates have eased a little bit and come off their highs. So right now, currently, on a 30-year fixed, you're looking at an interest rate of 6.09% on a 30-year fixed. And on a 15-year fixed mortgage, you're looking at 5.14%. So rates have more than doubled over the last year, but again, we've come off the highs of about 7% over the last month or so. So good news is a little bit of relief in terms of interest rates out there. So again, the feds are, I think, coming to an end. We'll see what happens. But again, rates have pulled back slightly. The first number I want to dive into is what we call percentage of list. And that is when somebody lists a home in the MLS, what percentage of the list price is a seller getting in terms of the final sales price. And in a normal, healthy market, percentage of list is anywhere from about 92% upwards to 97%. And for the last couple years, when COVID hit, percentage of list was 100% or higher. So buyers out there had no room for negotiating, and they were end up paying more than the list price. But the good news, if you're a buyer out there, percentage of list has come down. Buyers are now able to negotiate price, negotiate concessions, negotiate repairs. So it's becoming more of a buyer's friendly market. And if you're a seller out there, be prepared to possibly not get 100% of list price and have to negotiate with the buyer. So percentage of list for single family homes listed in MLS for January 2023 was 97.6% for single family homes. For townhomes and condos, percentage of list was 98.1% for January 2023. Now let's dive into what we call month supply of inventory. And that is, if no other homes were to hit the market today, how long would it take for all the inventory to be sold off in the MLS? And in a normal healthy market, month supply of inventory is anywhere from about 2.5 months upwards to about 4 months of inventory listed in the MLS. We've been far below that, as everybody knows. But again, more of a buyer's friendly market, more of a neutral market, where as inventory levels have gone up slightly, days on market have gone up, which goes into calculating this number. Month supply of inventory has gone up as well, which means homes aren't selling as fast as they were. So month supply of inventory for homes listed in MLS for January 2023 for single family homes, 2.2 months, or about 66 days. For townhomes and condos, month supply of inventory was 1.5 months, or about 45 days of inventory listed in the MLS. The next number I want to cover is what we call days on market, DOM for short. And that is when somebody lists a home in the MLS, how long does it take the home to go under contract? It's not from the time that you list until the time that it actually closes. This is what we call days on market. And over the last couple years, days on market has been in the mid mid to high teens. So when homes hit the market, they went under contract really quick. Buyers didn't have much time to mess around, and they were competing against multiple offers and multiple buyers. But again, things have dramatically changed over the last 8 months or so. So days on market is starting to go up. So days on market for single family homes listed in MLS for January 2023 was 49 days. For townhomes and condos, days on market was 36 days. So if you're a seller out there, this is a number to pay attention to in terms of realistic expectations, in terms of how long it typically takes a property to go under contract. If you're listed or if your home is exceeding the average days on market, you need to take a look at some things, and one of which, and usually, is price. Your home is priced too high. And one thing that I'm encouraging both buyers and sellers to look at is when you look at comps and you look at pricing your home, you really want to go only about 60 days back. Anything longer than that is data and numbers that aren't current with the current market that we're in. So in a changing market that's changing rapidly, whether it's going up, down, you want to look at closed sales typically that go back no more than 60 days in this market. But again, for sellers out there, it typically comes down to price in terms of if your home is exceeding the average days on market. So by now, you're probably asking, what are home values doing here in Tucson, Arizona? Are they going up, down, or sideways? And just a little recap, in 2022, the appreciation came in the first 6 months. And after the 6 months, home values actually went down. So we had double-digit appreciation the first 6 months. Home values decreased slightly. We still ended up positive in 2022. But again, home values definitely have softened and started to pull back. So the big question is, in 2023, is the appreciation rate going to end up positive or negative? In a normal, healthy market, homes typically appreciate anywhere from about 4 to maybe 8% on a good year. And again, we've seen double-digit appreciation rates over the last couple years, which is unheard of and not sustainable. So again, time will tell. I'm in the camp that I think, in terms of my opinion, there's still more room for a bigger pullback. So I think that at the end of this year, we could end up negative in terms of appreciation. But I'd love your feedbacks or comments in terms of your thoughts. Are we going to end up positive or negative from an appreciation standpoint in 2023? So let's go over the numbers. So the median home sales price here in Tucson for single family homes was $359,900 for January 2023, which is up year over year only 2.9% and down month to month $15,000. So from month to month, home values went down. Single family home values went down. Townhomes and condos, a little bit different story, just because the price point, affordable living, and there's less inventory. So townhomes and condos actually fared a little bit better. So townhomes and condos, median sales price $252,250, year over year appreciation 14.7%, and month over month, they actually went up $4,750. So again, love your thoughts. Put in the comment section, do you think homes are going to finish in 2023 with a positive appreciation rate or a negative appreciation rate? Love to hear your thoughts. The next number I want to cover is my favorite number, and that is home inventory levels. Economics 101, supply and demand. And again, I think it's the leading indicator. If home inventory levels are going down, home values are going up. If home inventory levels are going up, home values are going down. And this is the thing that's keeping this market glued together, and that is lack of inventory. And although inventories increased slightly, it hasn't increased enough in order to drive prices down. And in Tucson and across the country, due to seasonality and buying season, home inventory levels have actually gone down slightly. So I'm going to do something a little bit different in this episode. Is I'm going to go over the national numbers, and then I'm going to go over our local numbers, just so you can get an idea nationally what's going on, which has an impact on people that may be buying or selling someplace else that could potentially be moving to Tucson. So nationally, there's 970,000 active listings in all of the MLSs across the country. But to keep this into perspective, when the market turned in 2008, there was approximately 4 million active listings in the MLS. And an equilibrium in terms of a normal supply and demand across the country, we would need to be at about 2 million active listings. So we would need more than double the listings in order to get us back to more of a neutral market in terms of supply and demand. So again, we've got a long way to go. And until inventory levels dramatically increase, I think we're going to see a softening in home prices, but are we going to see a major meltdown? I don't think so. And again, it all depends on home inventory. So that's what's going on from a national standpoint, just so you can get a perspective. And now let's dive into the local numbers here in Tucson. Let's dive into what's going on here in Tucson from a home inventory supply and demand standpoint. And although inventory levels have more than doubled, which has made this market slow down and also pulled back slightly, in my opinion, we need a lot more inventory for home prices to decline further. So still relatively low. There are a lot more options for buyers, but in my opinion, I'm working with a lot of buyers right now, and it's still kind of slim pickings from a home inventory standpoint in terms of quality. So home inventory levels for single family homes listed in the MLS for January 2023, there are 2,085 active listings. Year over year, home inventory levels have risen 67.1%. For townhomes and condos, home inventory levels were at 258 listings, and home inventory for townhomes and condos have gone up 95.5%. But townhomes and condos still really, really low, and it's a more competitive market just because of affordability. And that's one reason when I went over the median home sales price as to why those numbers are holding strong for townhomes and condos. The last number I'm going to cover is one that I haven't been covering for a couple of years, and the reason is it just was always normal. Didn't really jump out at you, so I didn't feel the need to cover it. But each and every month I do a live on Facebook where I dive into the home inventory levels and show people what's going on in the MLS. And a couple of people wanted to know what was going on with unit sales. So how many closed sales were happening each and every month. And the month that this person asked it, things dramatically started to change. And if you look at all the numbers, this is the one that really, really jumps out at you. And that is closed sales, the number of transactions that are happening within the month. And it's always been normal. You know, a normal in Tucson is about 1,000 to maybe 1,400 to 1,500 units. And even during the meltdown of 07, 08, you know, we had a lot of activity. Things were still happening. But if you take a look at this number, I mean, we're way, way down. And I got thinking about it. Today, I was working with a client that's buying a home here in Tucson, and I'm helping him get some estimates and coordinate some of the fix-up for him. And there's a contractor that I've been using for probably 15 years, and it's somebody that I know, like, and trust. They're not somebody to gouge. And I got an estimate from this person, and I was like floored, and it had more than doubled than what I was used to when, you know, because we've got a lot of rentals, Airbnbs, and I do a lot of fix and flips as well. And I called him up and said, hey, is this accurate? It's more than doubled what it should be. And he said, yeah, prices have gone up, labor's gone up. And so if you look at unit sales, there's a lot of things that go into it, but it's really expensive for people to move right now. They're price locked, what I call price locked into their home, where interest rates have gone up dramatically, more than doubled. home affordability has gone up, so it's expensive for people to move. And then today it got me thinking about it. If you move and buy a new home, a lot of times there's a lot of things that go into it because you want to make it your own. You want to paint, carpet, maybe do a little remodel. And if you're going to do those things, they've gotten really, really expensive. So at the end of the day, it's cheaper for people just to stay put. So unit sales have dropped off the cliff in terms of what they normally should be. People just don't want to move because it's expensive. And so that's one reason too as to why we've been struggling with home inventory. So unit sales, and if you look at all of them, it should really jump out at you. So closed transactions for single family homes listed in the MLS for January 2023, there were 610 transactions, single family homes, which is down 40.3%. So we're off almost half of what it normally is each and every month. So for townhomes and condos, the number of unit sales that we had were 114, which is down 34.1%. So again, looking at all the numbers, I usually don't report on this one, but again, it's one that should just jump out at you in terms of unit sales. And it has a big impact because real estate as a whole is one of the big drivers of the economy. You've got mortgage, you've got title escrow, you got people shopping at Home Depot and Lowe's to buy things for their house. So it's a huge driver. And when transactions drop off like this, in my opinion, it's a lagging thing where it could potentially have a big impact on the economy in terms of just money flowing and, agents. Think about realtors out there. There's a lot of agents that are struggling right now just because there's not a lot of units being sold. So it has a huge impact on the economy. And at the end of the day, people are just what I call rate locked into their house, where it's cheaper to stay put than it is to move in more ways than one. If you're one to want to geek out on the numbers, I would encourage you to head on over to Tucson Homes and Lots. And when you're on my homepage, if you scroll down, there's going to be a button that says Tucson Monthly Market Update. If you click on that button, each and every month I do a blog post that has the video. But more importantly, if you really want to dive into the numbers, I cover a few key numbers that I like to cover, but there's a lot more to this report, and it's a really, really good report. So I'd encourage you to head on over to my website, scroll to the very bottom, and then once you see this banner, Tucson Housing Market Report, if you click on that, up comes the PDF of the full market report. So again, if you want to dive deeper into these numbers, I'd encourage you to check it out. So that's a wrap for my Tucson Housing Market Report for January 2023. And just to recap, this market has definitely started to soften and become more of a buyer's friendly market. If you're a seller out there, it's so important to price your home correctly. And I'm seeing this a lot, and that is overpricing your home and looking at comps that are further than 60 days back. If you're a seller out there, it's going to give you unrealistic expectations in terms of, number one, what you're going to get and how long it's going to take you to sell your home. And if you price your home incorrectly, at the end of the day, you're going to end up getting less money, because the perception from a buyer's standpoint is what's wrong with this house and why has it been setting on the market so long. So if you're a seller out there, I encourage you to really look at the comps and price your home correctly. If you're a buyer out there, again, things are starting to change. It's becoming more of a buyer's friendly market. But I would encourage, if you're buying on an FHA or a VA loan, I would encourage you just to be patient, because at the end of the day, if this market does pull back and you have no equity and you end up being upside down in your home, it's no fun. And ownership, at the end of the day, if done wrong, can be a liability, a burden, and create a lot of stress on someone's life. So I would encourage you to do it the right way. You know, we're here to help and give you good advice. So again, it just depends on what side of the fence you're on. But again, each and every month I do these reports to help people understand what's going on here in the Tucson housing market. Hey, thanks for watching my market update. I really appreciate it. If you liked this video and got value out outside of it, do me a huge favor and give me an internet high five by liking the video. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and comment below. And like I said, let me know what you think about 2023. Are we going to end up positive or negative in terms of appreciation? Go ahead and comment below. And for more awesome videos about living in Tucson, your Tucson Real Estate Connection, you can subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that bell button, because each time a video comes out, you're notified. In the meantime, make it a great day.